welcome back to CInemavino. It's good to have you guys back with us. We're kicking off our Christmas season. It's the season, officially.
'Tis the season.
Yeah.
Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Hope you didn't have too many awkward conversations with your family.
None about politics. We had awkward conversations about other stuff, so we branched out.
Like where babies come from?
Exactly. It was a disturbing thing, but we had to clarify
You keep
that.
showing up with more of them, so people are going to ask questions.
Yeah, when you are prolific and you keep multiplying, yeah, people want to know how that's possible. So, yeah. So how about you guys? How was your Thanksgiving?
It was good.
Lovely.
It was good. I actually had a really good Pinot Noir
Nice.
from Argentina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Argentina.
Argentina. Had it with lamb.
Yeah.
It's tasty.
That's a great combo.
Yeah, it was. It was good.
So for this installment, we're kicking off the Christmas movies, and we're doing some unorthodox Christmas movies. And for this one, it's a cult film from the 90s that you may or may not have heard of. I definitely remember it. I saw it when it came out on VHS. I missed it in the theaters, but I rented it as soon as it came out because it was a good flyer at the video store to take. Like, I really am curious about this. The Long Kiss Goodnight from Christmas of 1996.
Ooh. 96? I thought this was 99.
It's 96. So yeah, this was released on October 11th, 1996. You had never seen it?
I'd never seen it.
And you're a big fan. You like this movie.
Yeah. This is my pick. I've been wanting to do this for about 2 or 3 years. I'm like, if Die Hard is a Christmas movie, this is a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is written by Shane Black, who also did Lethal Weapon.
Hey, he did
Kiss Kiss Bang
Cliffhanger
Bang.
and Die Hard 2.
Yeah.
That's my part that I still
He also did Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which is another Christmas movie.
Renny Harlin directed Die Hard 2. You're looking at the director.
Okay, you know what? Eat a dick.
You read the wrong part of the
You
notes.
need to take another look. We'll get you-
I know, but I read the one sentence and I was like, ooh, I'm excited. And then I didn't want to spoil the rest of it for myself.
But yeah, this was released October 11th, 1996. It grossed $96 million against a $65 million budget. So pretty expensive, not a whole lot.
Wait, say those numbers again?
96 against a $65 million budget. So
Okay. Not a great.
seen as a disappointment. For if they invested that much money, I'm sure they expected 200 or 300. So, directed by Renny Harlin, who was the husband of Geena Davis at this particular time.
Director of Die Hard 2 and Cliffhanger.
Yep, there you go. And the year before,
Get him.
Renny Harlin had directed Geena Davis in a movie called Cutthroat Island. I don't know if you remember that movie. It was a pirate movie.
Yeah, with Matthew Modine.
Yeah. And it was actually listed in Guinness World Records as the biggest box office bomb in movie history. And both these movies that we're watching, that we're screening, the first two are in Guinness records.
Has that since been usurped or?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
So that had a budget of around 120 million, and it grossed around 15 million at the box office. So
Yikes. I thought Waterworld did worse.
Waterworld actually got a lot close. Waterworld cost about 200, and it grossed around 200, 220. So
It almost broke even.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, when you factor in advertising stuff, they still took a pretty good bath on it, but
Yeah.
it was nothing like that disaster. So
Plus Waterworld fucks.
yeah,
Mad Max
on the water.
on water.
This movie was written by Shane Black, as we said, who was known for writing the first two Lethal Weapon movies. And then he would later go on to write and direct Iron Man 3, The Nice Guys, and the 2018 Predator reboot. So,
And Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Have you ever seen Kiss Kiss Bang Bang?
I have not.
It's really good.
Is that
That's
with Robert Downey Jr.?
Robert Downey Jr. and
Marissa Tomei.
Val Kilmer
Oh, wait, Marissa's not.
and Marissa Tomei.
Hey, buddy.
She's in it too.
May.
Or maybe I'm thinking of not only you, but like that some other. Actually, I think they've done a few.
We need to do Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. It's a good movie. It's also a Christmas movie. We could have done it for this.
Yeah, again, Shane Black loves Christmas time. So this film has a lot of similar thematic elements to Jason Bourne movies and the novels.
Michelle
Yes.
Monaghan,
Oh, yeah.
not Marissa Tomei.
Yeah. So basic plot, Samantha Kane, is played by Geena Davis, is a school teacher, live-in boyfriend, she has a young daughter, and feels like she has the perfect life, but there's a big catch to it. That, just like Jason Bourne, she washed up ashore 8 years before, has no memory of how she got there. And so basically her life as she knows it began at that moment. However, when she suffers a head injury in a car accident, that starts kind of jogging her memory and bringing back some of the muscle memory of her abilities, like, chopping veggies and whatnot. And
Can I tell you what
Throw
this
knives.
It reminds me of is one of the Christmas vacations where it's just like kicked by a mule, eyes go across, fell down a well, and go back again. That's
Who
the
knew?
thing with this.
And so, yeah, she starts kind of piecing together her identity again. And then at the same time, her image pops up on a news broadcast, which tips off her old enemies that she's still alive. And so she hires a PI by name old Sam Jackson to investigate. And through her recovered memories and his investigation, they learned that she was a government assassin named Charlie Baltimore, and that Samantha Cain was just a cover for that identity. And so basically, as she uncovers her real identity and learns more about herself, the old bad guys turn up to take their revenge on her, take her out, and enact their very evil James Bondian world domination
We'll
plan.
blow up a bridge.
yeah, it's very Dr. Evil. You know,
It's very false flag attacky.
yeah, like hold the world ransom for $1 million.
For more
we can do
funding.
$1 million.
Yeah, more funding.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, that's what we need. More funding for the CIA. Come on, let's fund those guys. You guys, come on. The military-industrial complex doesn't have enough money.
This is lovely.
It is.
What are we pairing?
Yes. So this is the Cordovet. This is the 2022 Riesling from the Columbia Valley in Washington. This is going to be a very off-dry Riesling.
Yeah, it's not very dry. It's got kind of like a juicy.
Capri Sun.
Yeah, kinda. Kind of like Capri Sun. A little bit of apple, a little bit of pear.
Yeah. If I was gauging this thing's sweetness on a scale of 1 to 10,
Put it like a 6.
yeah, 5 or 6 for sure. It's definitely not as, because you have like those Auslese,
Super dry.
Spätlese, they're going to be much sweeter, and then you'll have your cabinets and your German Rieslings can be drier, and then your
Cabinets or Cabernets?
the cabinet Rieslings.
Oh.
And then your Alsatian Rieslings, which will be also pretty dry and have a high minerality. This one is definitely kind of in between. So if you are weary of Rieslings being too sweet, this would be a good one to drink. It's not going to be crazy, sticky, super sweet.
Yeah, this is a good middle ground.
This would be great for Christmas. This would be great if you have a ham. If you're doing your traditional Christmas food, this is a great pair. It's about $15. It's not
Cool label.
Yeah.
Or if you're crying watching Hallmark movies.
Yeah. Yeah, about the young
You're crying, watching news.
yeah, all the crying watching
Frosty.
This Old House rerun.
Have you watched Hot Frosty?
I did.
I didn't.
Frosty wasn't that hot. Very sinewy.
I've always said that about him.
What a great word. Sinewy.
Sinewy.
It is my word of the day calendar today.
Yeah.
Also,
Like egregious.
remind me to ask you what usurp means
Egregious.
off camera.
What usurp means?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can definitely clear that up. So Trav, I want to hear your
Pour
thoughts
syrup
first.
on pancakes, right?
Ooh.
Usurpy.
Yeah, I love this film. I watched it several times back in the day, and then I haven't watched it in forever. But I remember, maybe I saw it on an article or something, but I remember it happened during Christmas. And when we were doing some of our non-traditional Christmas movies a couple years ago, I was like, Long Kiss Goodnight, of course. And then we skipped it last year, and I was like, God, it's got to be on the list this year.
Yeah.
So thank you for putting it on there.
Yeah.
This was a joy to watch again. It was even better than I remembered it. Like, they don't spend too much time on parts of the plot. They're like, though the cuts were weird. Did you guys notice that?
The editing is very awkward.
We had to
Yeah.
watch it on, was it Plex or Pluto TV? Did you guys?
Yeah.
I watched it on like Paramount.
It was on.
It was on Paramount. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mother Puss Bucket. I watched it with ads. Fuck.
Streaming for free
You
on
might,
Jump
you might
Jump.
have had the pan and scan version of it then.
Motherfucker.
Watch it in like 7:9 ratio. Mean Guns
Yeah, you watched
ratio.
the Mean Gun style.
Well, now I'm just pissed. But yeah, the cuts were very odd. But they at least they used the exposition to not have to say, hey, or show Geena Davis re-meeting Sam Jackson, and then like she would just tell her daughter in the next scene, like, hey, this guy's gonna help me find out about my past. We're gonna go over. They just kind of yada yada. They hurried it up. We didn't have to see the whole thing. But I thought it was great. I loved the time that they spent about showing her discovering her new life, and just like the little nuggets and the little callbacks, like chefs do that. when she's slowly learning stuff. But I was watching it with my dad, and I was like, this is basically it's Jason Bourne.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
it's way worse Jason Bourne.
But if Jason Bourne had a kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like True Lies meets Jason Bourne.
Yes, and you don't spend too much time with her family or her fiance or boyfriend or whatever, but they give you just like a little nugget, like him doing the toast, like, oh shit, I do smoke and drink, just little nuggets of personality. You're like, all right, I kind of like this guy. He's putting together the town parade or the choir or whatever, but he still likes to say shit in front of a kid or just fucking God, hold on.
Indeed.
I need more wine for that one.
Yeah.
Still likes to say fuck in front of little kids, which is a quality I like.
Yeah. Glad we cleared that sentence up.
Wow. I know. I just
had to get that one out for the kids.
To get a palate cleanser there. The action was good. I thought it was cool, especially where she's learning. She lifts up the thing and sees that gun there, and she's like, wait a minute, I know how to do this, and did it all by muscle memory, and then
almost shoots him.
Yes. And Samuel Jackson has the best lines in this, and Brian Cox only in it for a little bit. Just delightful. That dog licking his asshole. Like, what's wrong with the dog?
It's either, what was it, his line? Like, it's either gone or
for good or there to stay. He goes, yeah, I found out where you guys were going for this little note in your pocket right next to what looks like his penis. And that's a duck, not a dick.
Oh, I mean, and it's like, I'll have to remember that line because, our dogs will sit there and lick their asshole for like an entire episode of Succession. It's like, you either got it or it's gone.
My appetite and your dog are not mutually exclusive. Just calm it down. But also, why is Sam Jackson drawn so many ducks? Like, why the duck?
Yeah.
Also, why is Brian Cox what is his? Oh, well, now I get it. His mind goes immediately to Cox.
Yeah, there you go.
He sees dicks everywhere. I was like, that says more about you than it does about him.
Same can be said for the CIA. Just see dicks everywhere.
I love the over the top. Who played Daedalus? He was the guy from Green Mile.
Craig Bierko.
Is that the guy? The tall guy from Green Mile?
You're the Morse, David Morse.
I think so.
Yeah, and he was also in Contact, and he was the negotiator. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I love him. He wasn't in it very long, and then they're just the crazy over the top villain.
He always plays like a bad guy or like a good guy who's bad.
Yeah,
yes,
like a narc. Somebody undercover. Yeah, that's what he was in the negotiator. He was like the turncoat or whatever.
But I love it that Geena Davis was just such the school marm, but she was kind of cool, had a little snark to her, liked to say the word tits and call people out on shit. Mm-hmm. But then she turned into a caricature of a 90s hero,
90s badass.
Yeah. She turned into John McClane.
Blonde hair, slicked back, short, wet hair inexplicably.
But all of her line deliveries were like John McClane. Slow motion, pull in, all right, say the line from the trailer. She was like trailer line.
Yeah. So what would you give it?
I love this so much, and I know it's not the best. It gets a strong 7.5 for me. It gets a 7.5 in bold and underline. I want to give it an 8, but it's 7.5.
Sean?
Not that.
Yeah.
I don't give it a 7.5.
So you're coming at it from a different angle.
I'm coming at it from a different angle.
I'm so excited for you to see this and be like, you know what? I really like it.
I had never seen it before, and it was not good. I mean, Die Hard is such a oiled machine of a plot that everything just streams together. It makes sense. It's cohesive. This one, there are so many coincidences that happen that sort of line up everything that if one thing hadn't happened exactly as it happened, the plot would make zero sense.
Yeah.
She had the car accident inexplicably the same day that she was seen on the news by this guy who gets out of prison somehow.
Yeah.
We don't know how he gets out of prison. He sees her on the news in a prison that's in a different state.
Yeah.
In Montana, they're streaming the local news from Pittsburgh or something.
Yeah.
And if he hadn't been on that channel watching that news at that time, he wouldn't have seen this random person who is from his history. If she hadn't gotten in a car accident at that exact time, bumped her head to get her muscle memory back, she wouldn't have been prepared to defend against him when he came busting in the door.
Lethal Weapon was kind of that way with Shane Black, where it's you had, was it Danny Glover, his old war buddy resurfaces, who's part of some shadow crazy conspiracy, just as Danny Glover gets teamed up with Mel Gibson, who was a Vietnam vet who was part of that, mixed up as an assassin or whatever, sniper, as part of that company.
Yeah, it's a lot of real funny coincidences.
Coinky dinks.
Yeah.
I also didn't really like the Sam Jackson character. I feel like he was written really tropey. Mm-hmm. I mean, his name was Hennessy for one.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Feels kind of racist, right?
Yeah.
He was like
it does now. I don't know how that played
sure.
then.
In 1996, I'm sure it was all above board.
Yeah.
He was like this like kind of sleazeball PI who his wife is like, you can't take those toys. Don't know where he stole it from.
Yeah.
I don't know. It felt gross.
And then he kind of owns it. It's like, yeah, I stole. I was a cop.
Yeah.
And
He's like, yeah, well, I don't steal from anywhere in town.
Yeah.
That's his response.
yeah,
And his kid's just like, oh, Dad, you rascal.
you scamp.
I don't know. I didn't like that character. I didn't like. She just sort of like gets out of like problems out of nothing. Like she was tied up on that wheel underwater,
And she just
like
wriggled really hard.
manages to like just kind of get her wrist out just
Yeah.
inexplicably. Like there's a timer on the bomb that has like 7 minutes, and she just sort of like takes a nap next to it.
Yeah.
Like sort of collapses and is like, go without me.
And then the girl has time to run away.
Run
and
away. Come back. By the way, nobody at that bridge.
Mm-hmm.
The crossing in Buffalo, like Niagara Falls, nobody there.
Mm-hmm.
The Canada border, there's no one there to like say like, hey, what's going on over there?
Hey,
Hey, neighbors.
what are you doing with the bomb there?
What's this big old truck they're doing?
Oh, you got some C4? Okay.
That sounds pretty nice, but can you not do that, eh?
Sounds like you got a little girl locked in the semi there. Well, that's not good.
Oh, got yourself trapped in a truck there, eh, girl? Oh, I'll get you out.
Oot.
Just like
Get you oot.
she just like collapses, and like the timer's like 7 minutes, 10 seconds, 7 minutes, 9 seconds. And I'm like, there is no drama here.
I love the 90s staple of the little red counter.
Yes.
That's one of Roger Ebert's favorite thing was like the little digital readout as if somebody's going to be there to watch the bomb countdown.
The digital clock revolution.
Yeah.
I like the baby doll with the kerosene pee.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
That's the title of my first album.
Baby doll with kerosene pee? What is that, a ska band?
Yeah. That's just straight up shoegazing.
Yeah.
That's just on stage looking down.
I just, so many parts of this movie I just watched and just like rolled my eyes.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was one of those like you had to be there to really enjoy it.
It was a bad roll of the eyes.
Yeah, not a good one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's like you walk that high wire of the bad roll of the eyes, the good roll of the eyes, where it's like, this is so stupid.
Well, it makes me want to go back and watch Kiss Kiss Bang Bang because like it was the writing that bugged me so much. Like it wasn't like, yeah, there was direction that bothered me and there was some acting and stuff, but it was like the writing bothered me. And I know this guy has written movies that I've enjoyed.
And here's going to blow your mind is that I believe this was one of the most expensive scripts ever purchased in Hollywood.
That is insane.
And I mean, some of that's going to be the name on it.
Sure.
Like, the fact that this is a guy who wrote Lethal Weapon 1, Lethal Weapon 2. I mean, he's got a long, I think he had a part in the original Predator, like in writing that. But he's got a red.
Shane Black.
Yeah.
He was an actor in it.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was the one that telling all the jokes.
And he was a millionaire as a script doctor too. He's somebody that got brought in to do other movies that.
So here's the thing. I mean, I've been kind of going back and watching some old 90s like action movies, like Bad Boys.
On your own without the podcast?
Bad Boys 2.
Bad Boys
Terrible
here.
fucking movies.
Yeah.
But they're like so cocaine fueled, you can tell there was like an energy about it that like someone clearly greenlit this because they were like, this is great.
Well, it's Mickey Bay.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like Michael Bay was the like man of the hour.
Oh, and Jerry Bruckheimer.
Jerry Bruckheimer was the vibe.
Yeah.
man.
Brooks.
Fucking CSI. It was, I don't know if it's just like those were the days. Like you got to kind of have watched it back then and
100%.
have some sentimentality about it.
100%.
But this movie is a straight up 5 for me. 5 out of 10.
That makes sense. It's like that's a fair grade for being drained out of the nostalgia of it.
That really upsets me. I really wanted this to be your Warriors. I wanted you to hug me. I wanted you to kiss me lightly on the cheek and say,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Travis,
Thank you for bringing this movie into my life.
suggestion.
Travis, come
Thank
on.
you for this night. Like, I will take this and put it in my bosom, and I will cherish it. And
This will be my forever
always.
Christmas movie.
You want to have like bottles on his fingers, like
Yeah.
come out to play.
Warriors.
No tongue.
So you're a solid 5.
5. Just even 5.
So
Not even going to plus it up to a 5.5.
So this is, to me, I'll give it a 6.5. Again, I think the nostalgia bumps it up a little
Split
bit.
the difference.
Yeah. This is a goofy little B movie put in the body of a big, huge budget action movie with big, obviously one of the most expensive directors, one of the most expensive screenwriters. And at that point, Geena Davis was a huge star in mid-90s. This is peak Geena.
I didn't mind Geena Davis
Yeah.
in this. I honestly didn't.
It's got, and to me, the silliness is part of the vibe. You have to vibe into that. It's
Yeah.
goofy, and it gets goofier as it goes along. By the end of it, you're just completely over the top, where she's like shooting guys, like she's riding up the Christmas lights or whatever, like, and
grabbing the gun of the guy who's on fire,
Yeah.
hanging from the Christmas lights. How is that gun not hot?
Yeah,
true.
And it's like, it's dumb, and you just have, you're either going to vibe into that dumbness or not.
She's like, "Oh, you're gonna die screaming, and I'm gonna watch." We're like, am I lying?
Yeah.
How did that guy
Trailer.
go into the Niagara Falls and just like came out on the other side?
He went through the chute.
Yeah.
He went through the chute
He went through the Luke Skywalker Empire
Yeah,
Strikes
I
Back.
was gonna-
and like just like climbed out of the water and was like, "All right, hey, helicopter."
Yeah.
That's flying on international waters with no jurisdiction.
He
Yeah.
dropped in like the.
He's just like, "Oh,
the bomb
hey,
Luke
hey,
fires
fellow
in the Death
terrorist."
Star, just like, whoop.
Yep.
Yeah, nothing but net.
Yeah, there's a lot of plot armor in
Makes
this
no
movie.
fucking sense.
So yeah, the final act is off the rails. I did enjoy Geena Davis as the blonde born, and I love the fact that it was kind of ballsy to do a female action star.
Yeah.
In this part, that might have
I
been.
feel like that's why Sean gave it such a low score, is because he hates women.
That's probably it, actually. Yeah.
but it's like I enjoyed that kind of flipping the cliche around.
When did Tomb Raider come out?
Early 2000s,
Angelina Jolie.
2001, 02. I think that she and Sam Jackson, they've later said that this is one of their favorite movies that they did. They had a lot of fun making it. For Sam Jackson, who's been in 8,000 movies, that's saying
something. Yeah.
that he enjoyed making this. He enjoyed that character so much. I have a huge quibble with the plot of this movie, and watching it now, especially like I think I've gained the perspective of like having reviewed a lot of movies.
Quibble away, my friend.
Her conversion, like the screen, it feels very written about how she goes from like
It's like a split personality, right?
the PTA mom, and then she regains those memories, and all of
And
a
she's
sudden,
like, "Fuck that kid."
yeah, I'm ready to walk. I'm ready to go be a spy again. I'm ready to get my gun, my hair's
Gotta
slicked
get back
back
in the field.
Maybe I'll get a little.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Her hair, after she cuts it, grows quite a bit before the third act, right?
Yeah.
She definitely has longer hair than
She's got that reshoot hairdo.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
No one was like, "Hey, maybe we should." Never mind.
Go back and watch Avengers Endgame. Tom Holland's got that, or Infinity War.
Oh, yeah?
His hair, like from one scene to the next.
Fluctuates.
Yeah. It's like whenever he's on board with the ship with Doctor Strange and Iron Man, his hair's really short. And then when he's down there on the planet with like fighting Thanos, it's long.
Yeah, well, I mean, nothing really beats the mustache for Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
That they
the
just sort of
clunky CGI mustache.
glossed over.
And it's mind blowing if you watch the people that have like the $60 software at home that make it look better than what they did for the DC people. But okay, my biggest thing is her conversion back, because somewhere in the middle of all that, she goes from being the hard ass spy of like, nah, fuck it, I'm gonna walk out on my family, leave them be. I'm gonna go back to doing what I do. She flips back to being the concerned PTA mom. I protect my daughter at all costs. Very quickly.
Inexplicably.
Very quickly. And it's like, that feels very contrived. It feels very unearned, as they say. And it's like, to me, that undercuts a lot of the excitement that you're supposed to feel of her protecting her family, when it doesn't feel like she should have converted back that quickly from
She looked at him through a scope for at least 2 or 3 beats.
through the scope of a gun.
And she was just like, yeah, that's a pageant, I guess.
I thought she was going to shoot the guy for a second. I like, even having watched this before, I was like, I thought they were going to show and like have the crosshairs there where it was going to be ambiguous.
Yeah. And so that undercuts a lot of the suspense of the final act, when it's like, this doesn't feel like it tracks. And for a movie like this, like quibbling over that also feels kind of goofy, because this is such a goofy movie. Not literally
to be confused with the Goofy movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it undermines the stakes of it, which are already kind of silly anyway, that they're holding out for more funding from an oversight committee. But it's a fun, dumb Christmas movie that you don't have to think too hard about. So
I want to think about my Christmas movies. I want to think.
Give
me Muppet Christmas Carol any day.
Okay. Replace one actor keep one actor, replace everybody else with Muppets in this.
Long Kiss Goodnight. It's got to be Miss Piggy is Geena Davis.
Yeah.
Yes.
Keep Sam Jackson.
Yeah.
Keep Sam Jackson. Yeah.
There you go.
So.
Yeah.
Keep the dog.
Keep Brian
Okay,
Cox.
if you kept Geena Davis, who would be Sam Jackson and Brian
Actually,
Cox?
Brian Cox would be a really good. Keep him. Everyone else is a Muppet.
Yeah. Probably in all of his movies. Have him be the sole,
Hell
human.
yeah. Succession, but it's just him and a bunch of
Muppets.
I'd like to see Kermit as Sam Jackson. Kermit as Hennessy.
But for you, those of you at home, this is an exercise that Sean found somewhere online of take your favorite movie, keep one human actor, replace everybody else.
Everyone else is a Muppet.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but yeah, it's been another episode of CInemavino.
So you were an 8.5 on this?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I'm a solid 6. Solid 6.5. Court of A, 2022 Riesling, Columbia Valley. If you're looking for a good Christmas wine and you're looking for a white wine, this would be the way to go. Don't run away from the fact that it's a Riesling.
I think you said Court of A. It's Corvidae.
Corvidae, yeah, sorry. Again, a couple glasses of it.
Like a raven or a rook?
Yeah. That's why there's a big old bird.
Yeah.
That's a big old bird.
Big old bird.
What's he got in his mouth?
It's bread.
Mm-hmm. And it gets harder to say the further you go
Thought it was a fat nut.
Big old bird with bread.
But yeah, give it a try. $15. It's a nice little,
Tasty. Yeah.
kind of in between, off dry, refreshing white wine. So,
Single serving, I would say.
and it goes great with turkey. It goes great with salad. Goes great with yada yada. Drink this and then move on to a little fuller bodied red. So yeah, but great movies. Only Drunker. We will see you guys next time where we will be talking about Eyes Wide Shut. So
Bye, guys.
Sean Jordan, Travis Bud. I'm Toddy.
Thanks for having us.
See you guys soon.
Bye.